Okay, we are back. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with the always lovely and talented Andrea Kay, the always incredible Urban Miaris, and we have our next guest with us today, Mr. Eran Sinai from ID Theft Recovery.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. How are you guys?
Yeah.
Good. You know, it's nice to have another professional. Eran has his own radio show. We won't say what station it is, but he's one of our longtime professionals in this business.
I know. I was telling Eran on the phone yesterday. I said, I've got a little bit of performance anxiety. I'm a little nervous having another host on. I don't think I think that's our first time for doing this, right? Having another host on.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrea, why don't we have them interview us?
I know we should, right?
Yeah, I think you are coming on my show. I just got an email. I think June 15th, you both are scheduled to come on my show. So.
Oh,
yeah, I forgot the date, but yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I just got the email.
Oh,
right.
Wonderful. I look forward to it.
Yep, sounds good. So tell us a little bit about ID Theft Recovery and what you do.
Well, the idea behind ID theft, so it's ID theft compared with our law office. ID Theft Recovery, IDR, is a non-lawyer company. What we focus is, compared to the other companies out there, we focus on protecting people, which you can't prevent identity theft. You can protect and insure. So what we focus on is really making sure that if something does happen to you, that you just sit back and relax. We do the whole recovery process for you. So unlike big other companies, which I'm not going to name names, they charge you 10 times more. If something happens to you, you get a nice long list of what things that you need to do with an advisor who tells you how to do it, and then you're on your own. What we do it all for you, whether it's a financial, medical, or criminal identity theft. And what we charge usually is right now we work a lot with institutions, but we are going to the public in August. But what we do is we charge $4.99 a month.
$4.99
That's
a
it?
month?
Yeah, and with that, we are backed by M-Trust, backs up and underwrites all our insurance. So with that, you get $50,000 insurance for legal fees reimbursement, up to $50,000 for money stolen from your account. You get $50,000 for travel expenses if you're stranded. You get up to $5,000 child care and up to $2,000 of lost wages.
Well, that's
Wow.
And right now,
For $4 a month.
yeah, and right now we truthfully work with big institutions, big companies that give that as a fringe benefit to the employees, and it's a tax deduction to them. So that's what we do.
Is that issued, just from knowing a little bit about that side of the business, is that issued out as an individual product, or does it need to go out through a group?
No, it is offered as an individual product as well right now. If you go on IDRprotect.com, you can purchase that, but we're starting a massive campaign through some big TV and radio media companies in August, and we're going nationwide to the public as well, rather than institutions only.
How many other companies are out there doing it the way you do it?
None. I mean, there are a lot of companies offer similar things, obviously, but none actually does the work for you. You always get an advisor work with you, but no one will actually do the work for you. And that's the big difference. That's a very big difference.
Okay, so here's the important question. I'm going to put you on the spot. Okay, being you're an attorney by trade, you're probably easy to put on the spot. How can you afford to do that?
I can't. It's a volume based, working with institutions and knowing how to do that. I've been doing that for many years. I got my doctorate in law back in '98. I actually got my PhD and did some paper on philosophy in law. Don't ask me why I did that, but I did it anyway. I have no idea why. But anyway, I started it because it happened to me personally a few years ago. And I think, Andrea, I told you I'll tell you that today, and I refused to tell you that story yesterday. So basically, I've had
I tried to get it out of him, Barry. You wouldn't tell me.
I had to hang up the phone because you almost made me, but I just had to kind of take the fifth on that. But basically what happened, it goes back to many years ago. I had an old injury in the war. Anyway, it eventually led to a surgery that I needed to do, and I knew it's going to come up to a kidney transplant. Okay, so back in '08, I did have a kidney transplant where my wife actually happened to be my donor.
Wow, that's a story in and of itself.
It is, and people say, how did you know you're going to be a match? And, I said, I'm a Jew. We check everything before. Anyway, but I'm joking. I've been married 19 years now, going on 20, but so I didn't check her before. But anyway, so basically it comes down to the surgery. We're all done, and obviously actually 4 months after the surgery, I had to get special permission. I had to join the U.S. transplant Olympic team and did triathlons, and so I'm really doing well. Anyway, about just less than a year later, we go buy a car, and I go to the dealership, and Lindsay, the lady from the dealership, says, Eran, I can't pull Maria's credit. Maria's my wife. And I said, why? I said, well, according to the bureaus, she's deceased.
What?
I said, I don't know. I woke up. She was right next to me. I swear I didn't do anything ever since that. But anyway, come to find out, somebody did steal her medical identity and used it. And when they started getting bills, okay, the co-payment started getting too high, they just wrote on the bill deceased and send it back, so they don't have to deal with it. So basically we had to go, and I still have the form, and I show it in presentations that I do and everything, to Social Security and get a form that's called Alive and Well, whereby we had to show that she's not deceased, and I had to go back and reestablish and remove all the collections, clean her credit. So the message in that, it's not, people think, oh, it's only financial identity theft. And I think, Andrea, you and I talked about it yesterday, and you were surprised yourself. But if you think about Anthem, 80 million people.
Right.
1 out of every 3 people in Missouri is now affected by it. Tens of millions of kids that you don't even know. You're not even going to know if your kid's identity has been stolen for years. Okay. I had a client whose child identity was stolen in 2002. They're still struggling with that.
Wow.
And not only
when you say a child's identity was stolen, how did that play out? What did that mean?
They steal their medical information. Now, the problem with that, when they steal someone's medical information, there's a lot on it. Not only medical records, but the Social Security. Now, as a child, your Social Security and your credit record is clean. Very easy for thieves to build credit and start getting some credit. And you don't know until you go to maybe apply for for student loans. And the bottom line, so it's not only that, but imagine if they would have stolen my wife's medical identity before, or if they stole yours today, God forbid, you go and they got treatment and they are type blood A and you are B, and now you're going to get treatment, what's going to happen? Or imagine you're going for life insurance and they check your medical record and now they show you have diabetes, but you're as healthy as they come.
Yeah, and you get denied, or you have to pay 3 times as much for premiums that you wouldn't have had to pay, and they don't even necessarily tell you.
That's right. And Andrea, you had a great point when we spoke yesterday. You said, what about if they use your medical privileges and you're maxed, and now you're out of pocket? What's next? Yeah,
because you only get, with your insurance, you only get a certain number of visits or a certain, amount of services to the dollar. So, and most people think of identity theft. I know I did, just in terms of somebody, stealing a credit card, or or opening up a Sears account. That happened to Mama one time, but not the medical.
Yeah, there's a nonprofit out there called World Forum. And they're in San Diego, and they are actually offering, if you go on their website, worldforum.org, I believe, they have forms that you can send to your insurance company, and I suggest that to people. Once a year, you should get a snapshot of your body condition, and a statement of what's been happening on your insurance, so see if somebody's been using it. You might not even know.
Yeah. It's certainly a way to prove you're alive and well.
That's right.
Yeah, hey, I'm not dead. Look at me.
Yeah, they have everything out there. You can go into every state and have unclaimed property people leave behind. You can't find it. Now you have everything that's getting stolen. Why not keep an eye on that too?
Yeah.
So
it happens.
You're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business here on KCBQ, streaming live at AM1170theanswer.com. Give us a tweet at CloseUpSD. Email me at barry@closeupsandiego.com, or find our page on Facebook. We want to hear from you. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with my co-host, Andrea Kay, and Urban Miaris, and our guest is Eran Sinai from IDR, or ID Theft Recovery.
Eran, is it possible that Social Security could issue the same number to 2 different people?
No, but it is possible that 2 people are using your Social Security somewhere else in the United States, or even 3. So there might be another Barry or another Andrea living somewhere in another state.
Because I was wondering, with 9 digits, that with the population and, of course, people that have been deceased that had Social Security numbers, they'd run out of numbers.
Okay, so that is a different issue. When people steal, they use Social Security. When they hack system, they use Social Security of deceased people to reestablish an identity. So that has happened. But Social Security itself won't issue the same number twice.
Okay.
But people will steal it and reuse numbers of deceased people.
Well, yeah, and so not only do you get in and fix the problem, but then you come in and you fix the credit as well.
That's correct. That's correct. So what I've been dealing with credit, banking, and all those for many, many years, and coming from the Fed's side until across the street.
Now, from the credit repair standpoint, do you use your legal background on that or not?
Yeah, there's no such thing as credit repair, though.
There's not?
No. I mean, if your credit is bad, you can repair it. You can, you screwed up and you had a foreclosure. You can't just, oops, let me remove that. There are credit inaccuracies. There are things we can do to maybe find wrongdoing on behalf of the creditors or the banks or the credit reporting agency, which are the three bureaus. But people say, I do credit repair. You can't just repair credit. You can restore inaccuracies, and that's what we try to do. In this case, though, when it comes to identity theft, the rules are very strict. The laws are very strict. So we know how to go straight to the bureaus, and it doesn't take long, and everything comes off your credit and brings you back to where you were before.
Great. I tell you, it's amazing what goes on out there, and I think a lot of this, all of the theft and everything has come from technology.
Absolutely.
Now we have technology to put us back on track.
Yeah. They say that, it's like when I grew up, and maybe Barry, when you grew up, somebody would go to the bathroom in the wall and in the high school and will write Eran is whatever, right? And people saw it. Nobody got into trouble because nobody knows who wrote it. And I think the internet is like I call it's the bathroom roll of the 21st century. It's like just in so many times bigger and stronger, and it can really cause a lot of damage.
Well, isn't there still, though, some good old-fashioned identity theft going on in terms of people stealing your wallet and going through trash cans? Is it still a good idea to shred your documents at home?
Absolutely. And not only shred your documents, but clear your cache on the computer when you do those autofills, when you pay your bills. Do not put your mail in the mailbox, especially when you're paying bills, and raise this flag on the mailbox so the mailman can pick it up. Don't do it. People steal it, believe it or not. Yes, there are the good time, small time thieves that steal your credit card. They go have some lunch and brunch and go to 7-Eleven, spend $2 and think they did something big. Of course, there's that.
I'm shocked that people there isn't more theft going on right out of the mailboxes. I just opened up the mail yesterday and saw my tax refunds come in, and
would lock you. I have a mailbox with a lock on it, but even then, the postman. Half the time this mail is still sticking out. But
So, interesting. So what else do you do?
Wow.
Isn't that enough?
Well, I know Eran, and I know he does an awful lot.
He's a man with many talents.
Well, I other than my radio show twice a week, every Monday, Wednesday, 12 to 1 live on another station.
Good shameless plug,
though. I used
Love
to be
it.
on KCBQ for 2 years before that. I used to be in KCBQ. It was a lot of fun. So, we deal with people with credit problems, banking problems. We have a couple of cases against banks. I love to be the guy that they love to hate. We deal with bankruptcy. We deal with tax resolutions. The idea is, though, really to go out there and like you guys do, to go back to give. I'm part of, like I said, the U.S. Transplant Olympic team. This month, April, is Donate Life America Month, where we encourage people to go out there and mark yes on the driving license. So when something happened to you, you can be a donor, because I can saw it for myself how important it is. So I always try. So April is Donate Life America Month. So I always tell people this is the month to go out there and become a donor if you haven't done so already. So
you're a triathlete.
Yes,
wow.
but it's for they call it the Transplant Olympic Games. So and it goes by age. So it's not that I'm that good. I'm with a 50 years old guy.
Still, you're out there doing it. I mean, I try to walk my baby Bo around the block. I'm exhausted.
Well, we have a kidney transplant that's a triathlete.
Yeah.
We have a kidney transplant on the other side of you that holds the world's record for fastest downhill ski time for a blind person.
And meanwhile, what are we?
Is that telling you something?
We're the disabled ones here.
Yeah. Well, I might hold the record for the amount of most sugar eaten in a day. That's probably. You know what?
I'll go with that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yay me.
It is humbling, It is humbling. I remember feeling sorry for myself, and I was talking to the captain of, let's say, the swimming team, and he is a double lung transplant, and I'm like,
wow.
What am I saying? I'm on the kidney.
Yeah.
Where am I kidding here?
See, I was impressed by you, Eran, but now not so
not
much.
Anymore.
Okay.
Not anymore. I'm nothing. It's on the kidney.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we're running short on time. Tell our listeners how they can find out more about your company.
IDRprotect.com. Just go on IDRprotect.com or Google me. But yeah, IDRprotect.com. It's the best thing. Go on the website. All the information you need to know is there. We talk to a lot of people. The people just call because they want to call. They can also call 866-CREDIT-PRO. 866-CREDIT-PRO. People just call to ask me questions all the time. Happy to answer.
Great.
Wonderful.
Well, this has been fabulous information. I want to thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Going to definitely do some follow-up and carry the storyline forward.
And we're going to be on his show in June.
That's right.
That's right.
So we have to do a really good job and behave ourselves.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Great.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
This is Close Up on San Diego Business here on KCBQ, streaming live at AM1170, theanswer.com. Send us a tweet at CloseUpSD, or just find us on Facebook. You can always email me at barrycloseupsandiego.com. Let me know what you think. I'm your host, Barry Waxler. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.